Alright, so here we are. We're with Fear No Evil. We're doing just a quick match. This will be pretty simple. We're going to use the Daredevil Precon and just standard Bullseye. You can mix the villains in this with different scenarios. We're going to use Art Museum, the Art Heist, just because that's the random one I pulled. This is probably my first video, so I don't know if this will look that great, but I'm going to try here and see what it looks like. I'm pretty new to this game. I've been playing for about a month, so I'm gonna make mistakes. You can let me know what mistakes I made, but I'll try my best to to be as diligent as I can. I think I understand enough to at least maybe not make too many. But anyway, here we go. Let's go through this. Obviously, we have Bullseye here, standard. Um, when he's revealed, we're gonna grab his spine, the adamantium lace spine, and then whenever he does any basic activation, so when he schemes or attacks, every card gets an extra boost icon. So every attack is at least a +1 or on attack or scheme. Then we're gonna add expert in the art museum heist. Then we're going to use the standard modules that it recommends for Art Museum. We're going to have Cops, we're going to have Owl, and then just standard ones. So, and then Daredevil is just this precon. So, just for our setup, then let's get this all set up. We got Daredevil, Bullseye here, and then he's going to pull out his adamantium laced spine to attach to him. So, what it does is whenever he would take damage, it prevents all but 3 of that damage. The damage over 3 in that instance gets added to this, and then if there's 6 or more, you flip it over, and then whenever he schemes, we remove 3 damage from this, and once there's no more damage left, we flip back to a skeleton. So he has some damage prevention. It's kind of a mix of a few things. Like, it reminds me of Rhino's. Has that one card that makes him absorb some damage. Yeah. Alright, so there's that's expert, and then our main scheme. So we're going to be using Art Museum Heist. So we need to find the encounters for art attachments, attach 1 at random to the villain, and then shuffle the other 3 back into the deck. So put that there for now. Alright, so we got this. Let's see, the art attachments. This one, that's 4, I think they said. 4. Press there. Shuffle these up. See what we get attached to Bullseye here. Replica Shield. After this card attaches to a character, give that character tough. So it's +1 scheme, +1 thwart. I can spend a strength resource to exhaust my hero to attach this to my hero instead. Alright, so this is going to give him tough at the start. Can't really see that, can we? Seems pretty good there. Alright, so he has that. He has a replica shield. These go back in there. And we just add Police, Owl, and Standard. And then Matt here. So the way Daredevil works, he's actually not too complicated. He has these 5 sense cards, and so they don't go into his deck. Instead, the entire ability on him and his hero side is that we basically shuffle this up, and we're going to put it off to the side here. Right there. And now we play it with face up, and we can now play the top card of the sense deck as if it's in our hand. Whenever you play one of the sense cards, all of them are upgraded that attach to usually schemes or villains. and then they kind of buff, debuff, or stuff goes off when you throw out attack, whatever. And then once they are used up, and they'll go back to the sense deck. You put them at the bottom, so you kind of have to go through them one at a time in this order that we just started with. But several of his cards will let you just search through the sense deck and pick whichever one you want out. So then we need to add his obligation, sensory overload here. And this should be a villain deck here. So let's give this a good shuffle, and we should be ready to start. We got his Nemesis cards. Let's put those aside over here. And shuffle up Daredevil's deck. Daredevil's Nemesis is Bullseye. So if we do hit Shadows of the Past, we just surge instead of putting Bullseye into play, but the scheme does affect villain Bullseye, and can be nasty if you leave it out into play. Alright. Here we go. We got a sense deck set up. I think we're all set up. So we'll start with 6 cards. We got Contingency Planning, Karen Page, Focus the Senses, Stealth Training. I think we want to keep. These are kind of useless. Focus the Senses. Let's see this. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme except by Daredevil or match. When defeated, you may remove any number of sense upgrades in play to other cards they can attach to. Choose any number of upgrades from the sense deck and put them into play. So you can move them around and then also put a bunch into play. What is it? It's 4? Is this worth it? So a lot of this stuff is side schemes and defeating stuff, and I don't think with defeating, I don't think this is worth keeping. I mean, I could be wrong. Let's see. So then the contingency planning, I don't like this card, but maybe I'm wrong. Karen Page is probably the one card we'll keep. So she's a support. She's an action. So it's not hero or alter ego, either side, but we can shuffle a Daredevil card from our discard pile into our deck, and if we're in alter ego form, we draw 1 card. So we can. Wait, none of these. We could shuffle that back in and immediately draw a card if we play her. So, yeah, we'll keep her. Get rid of that and draw 5 more. Let's see what we got. We got Dagger. This is interesting because she combos with Cloak. Cloak can search for her and play her for free. But Cloak has a boost icon on him. And Dagger gets rid of it. Daredevil's Billy Clubs is pretty good. He gets 1 attack, and then we can just free return it to our hand to either deal 1 damage or give Daredevil aerial. Living Law Detectives, just remove 2 threat from a scream. For each upgrade, you move 1 additional threat. Now he has an attack version of this. It's basically the same where it deals 3 damage, and then 1 damage for each additional upgrade. And his senses are upgrades, so that's where that comes from. And then Chance Encounter is attached to a side scheme. They included a lot of his attached cards because of how his senses are attached cards. But I think if I was building a deck, I'd probably take a lot of these out. This is attached to a minion. Still not a great hand, but okay, let's see what we're going to do. Then we got Karen here. So I think we're going to start playing Karen. And get rid of legal troubles for that. I'm going to go ahead and activate Karen. So we exhaust her to shuffle 1 Daredevil card back into the deck. Then we have 1, and then we can draw a card. Yeah, we got stealth training. Let's see. Dagger doesn't really do anything without cloak, but she's a 1/2 threat attack with 3 health body, 3. And a lot of stealth training's not bad. Oh, I forgot to set up the main scheme. Let's do that real quick. The rest of it. Flip it over. So it starts with 1. And then it gains X, where X is 1 plus the number of art pieces attached to the main villain. So right now he would get 2 every turn, and it's a 9. It takes 9 and you lose if it hits it. It also has an effect where if an enemy makes an undefended attack against an identity, it can take a piece of art attached to that identity. Which reminds me, we need to steal that art. Let's see, we can either exhaust our hero or in the physical. So wait, I want to do that first. For physicals, we don't really want to keep Billy Club, I think. Stealth training's pretty decent. We could immediately stun him right now with stealth. This. Because we could, yeah. Oh, and also, don't forget our senses. Our current sense is superior taste. After you thwart attached scheme, discard this card and remove 2 threat from that scheme. That's not particularly useful right now. I think I want to get down the Billy Clubs. Because we can use Billy Clubs to ping off his tough right now. I mean, it is kind of wasting 1 resource to do it, but I kind of like it. Also want to maybe... so many decisions. And Cloak also takes 2 consequential from either of her actions. She is not very good without... I mean, Dagger. She's not very good without Cloak. I'm going to use Chance Encounters to play Billy Club. I think we're not going to do anything else in Alter Ego, so let's go ahead and flip over. He doesn't really get anything else. I think the only difference is he can't play sense cards in his Alter Ego form, but he can in his hero form. It's kind of the difference. And then the rest of his text is telling you how to handle the sense deck. So he's at +1 attack. I think we're going to use the Billy Clubs to just ping off tough, right? Yeah. So we're going to activate Billy Clubs. Hero action, return this card to our hand from play, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So we're going to do that. We're going to choose Bullseye. We're going to ping off his tough. Now then. Just going to... kind of thinking about using Dagger to pay for Billy Clubs and just keeping stealth training. Or we could use stealth training to go ahead and play for superior taste and just attach it to the scheme, because the responses on the upgrades are not forced responses. So I can thwart later and not, I can wait to use it till it has a live thread on it, so that's not bad either. So I think I do kind of want to keep Dagger. The stun's pretty good too, though. I definitely want to keep that. I don't. So I think, yeah, I think we're gonna do this. I'm gonna bring back out the Billy Club. We're gonna use stealth training. We're gonna attach this to that scheme. Let's see what we got now. We're going to attach to an enemy of scheme. When you defeat attached enemy or remove the last threat from that scheme, discard this card. Reduce the next cost of the next card you pay this time by 2. So let's see. I want to play that. I kind of want to keep Living Light Detector because this is 1 for 3 threat, and it will trigger superior taste if we need it, without having to waste our thwart action. Are we going to be letting him keep that shield? This card attaches to that character tough status card. It doesn't really do anything else. It's just giving him one scheme, one thwart right now. Oh, but it does add, but I don't know. I think it's okay for a turn. I think we're going to let him have it. And I'm going to keep living lie detector. And then Daredevil is just going to do a attack with 3 because he's 2 plus 1 with his billy clubs. So that brings it down to 11. And that doesn't trigger his spine because it's only 3 damage. Alright, so that's it. I think we're done here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw 5. Got Ghost Rider. Know your enemy. Contingency planning and the Man Without Fear. This is a really good card. Alright, so now then, start of the turn. This goes up by 2 because it's an art piece on Bullseye. So we're at 3 of 9. And then Bullseye is going to attack me. He's attacking for 1. And then every boost card gets an extra boost icon. So it's 2 minimum. I'm at 10. There really aren't any like defensive cards in here. It's all about really thwarting for the most part. I'm gonna take it. We'll see what happens. So this is 1 assault. So it's 1 plus the new 1, which makes it. Put this down here. Makes that 2. So I'm taking 2. So I'm down to 8. And then my encounter card. The villain schemes. Okay. Well, I'm glad we kept human lie detector. His scheme is 0, but his plus 1 to boost icons works on scheme and attack. So he's scheming for 1. He's scheming for 4. So we're now up to 7. Alright. 7 out of 9. Alright, it's great first turn. Back to my turn. Know Your Enemy is a really good card. I think it's one of the new ones because it has the new discount mechanic. Can I get it in the camera? There we go. Yeah, so because Daredevil's a martial artist, this is free. Remove 2 thwart, and you can split it between 1 thwart from different schemes. So let's see here. How are we doing this? I think so. Let's see. Can we play? If we play this and attach the scheme, can we get 7 off? Because if we get 7 off, we can then cast something for free. Well, -2. So let's see. Use that to play that. This is free. This drops it to 5. Use this to play for Living Lie Detector. That drops it to 2 plus 1 for each attachment, so that's 4. Leaves us with 1. But Superior Taste would trigger through all that, which would then remove all the threat from it, which would then trigger Enhanced off the smelling one, and that would let us play. We still have the Man Without Fear in our hand. We could play that for free, and then we could do either 2 actions with Daredevil, or we could play the next Sense card. Well, actually, I think you can play any. So the Man Without Fear is hero action. Exhaust this card and deal 1 damage to Daredevil, and you get to choose between 2 effects. One is you can play any upgrade from the Sense deck, ignoring its cost, or you can ready Daredevil. It's an upgrade, so you can do this every time. But I think what I just said is probably the plan. I am gonna overthwart for 1, I think. Wait, I even need to play, like, wait. I have to play this, right? Because that's gonna get me 4 with that, and I'm gonna have to attach that. So that gets me 2. Well, that gets me 4. Daredevil could thwart with 2, but I think we want to try and attack with Daredevil. Also flip. Yeah, okay, so I think I got an idea of what we're going to do. So first, we're going to use contingency plan to play for our top sense card. It's going to attach this to the main scheme. Our new sense is when you defeat attached enemy or remove the last threat from attached scheme, discard this card, ready your identity. That's pretty good. So let's see. If I attach this with this, it puts 3 attachments on the scheme. Living lie detector then removes 2 plus 3 to 5, and then this one will remove 2. Let's see. When you after you thwart attack scheme, which is living lie detector is a thwart action. Remove 2 threat. That would remove all the threat, and we could ready Daredevil. And we can actually ready Daredevil 3 times this turn, I think. So yeah, so we did the attachment. So we're going to attack Bullseye with Daredevil for 3. So he's down to 8. We're then going to play. We're using Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is pretty good. We're going to use for your enemy to play Living Lie Detector. Hold on. No, we're going to use Know Your Enemy to attach Acute Tactility to this main scheme. Then we're going to use Ghost Rider to pay for Living Lie Detector. The Living Lie Detector is now removing threat 2 from the main plus 3. So we're moving 4, bring it down to 3. Wait, did I miscount? 2, 3, 2. No, it moves 5. It's moving 2 plus 3, so 5. So yeah, so now this is 2. And that triggers this one, the taste. After you thwart, discard this card and remove 2 threat from that scheme. So we'll discard this. We're going to move another 2 threat. And that triggers both of these. We're going to want to trigger this one first, I think. Yeah, so when you defeat attached scheme or remove the last threat from attached scheme, discard this card. Ready your identity. So then Daredevil's now ready again. And then this one triggered, so we do this and our next card costs 2 less. And that lets us play the Man Without Fear for free. This is discarded. Alright, so now then, Daredevil will attack again for 3. Wrong counter. We both have the same health, that's why it's kind of, yeah. So he's down to 5. We're then going to activate, see what we can play anything. Rapid Sense is pretty good. We could push him down to 2. We could flip and heal. And use Karen. Draw a card. And we could play Rapid Sense. I kind of like that. So we could just play Rapid Sense for free, but we had a card draw. I don't know. I think we'll just do it this way. I think both things lead to the same situation, sorta. Well, we'll go down to 1. We're ready, Daredevil, so we could attack for 3, or we could. We just want to just push him, attack for 3. I think we're just going to push him. So Daredevil's going to attack for 3. Puts him down to 2. Then going to flip to Alter Ego. And we're going to activate Karen. And so now we can put a Daredevil specific card back to deck, shuffle, and draw 1. Is this the only one left? Yeah, we haven't been going through many. Well, we've used most of them. So I'll put that in, shuffle, draw one. And we're probably going to play Rapid Sense with this, but we'll see what we get. I forgot about the piece of art he has, but threat might start to be an issue here since we don't have all our stuff anymore. Move in the shadows. Discounts 1 for martial artists to spy. This is an upgrade. After you play a card, including this one, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Huh, and that just happens every time you play a card. That's pretty good. Man, I kind of want to keep that. It includes this one, so it's 1 just to remove 1 threat, which is okay. I mean, it's not great, but then it just stays on the field, and every time. But also, yeah, okay. I think I'm actually gonna. This is 3 damage. Well, basically free. I think we're just gonna keep this though. I think that's my turn. Yep. So we're gonna draw back. Going to draw 5 cards. Living Lie Detector. Move in Shadows, which is that card we just got. Focus the Senses, we've seen this before. Contingency Planning, that's fine. We'll go up to 6. Close Chance Encounters. Pretty bad hand. Okay, now it's time for turn 2 for Bullseye. So 2 goes on the main because he has a piece of art. And he is scheming this time. So he's scheming for 0 plus boost icon. Take 2 indirect damage. Well, no one else can take it, so it's just me. Down to 5. And then it inherently gets another one, so he's just scheming for 1 because he only has 0. So up to 3. And we deal out our encounter card. Treachery, unerring desire. When revealed, choose to either give this card to the villain as a face-down boost card, or remove a persona support you control from the game. Oh, wow. So first off, that's a 4 boost card that gets overkill. That's counting his we're probably going to push him next turn. He's going to get another attack. So this would be just by itself, not considering he also will get another boost card. So that's 4, 5 at minimum, 6, 7 overkill. Sorry, Karen. You're removed from the game. Alright, so what happens to this card? Does it just get discarded? Man, that's a rough card. Unfortunately, Karen's pretty good too. Alright, my turn. That wasn't that bad though. That's good. Our sense card is radar sense. So let's see. Oh yeah, these should be ready. I think we're gonna start by recovering. He's kind of getting kind of low, and Bullseye can pump out some damage. So we're going up to 8. So if we just attach 1 thing to the main living, actually, I'm gonna flip because I'm gonna play, yeah. Going over to Daredevil, then we're going to we don't have any side schemes. I don't like contingency planning. I'm sure someone's gonna say this is a great card, but I just don't like it. So because we are martial artists now, we can play Move and Shadows for 1. So this is 1 per player, and every time a card is played, we remove 1 threat from a scheme. So, and it counts itself, it says, so that's down to 2. His hand's so bad. I think we're gonna use Man Without Fear to ready him. He'll be at 7. Bullseye, and we push Bullseye then, and then he's gonna be swinging at us for 2 plus. He's gonna be swinging at us for at least 3, and we'll be at 7 with no allies in play. can defend for 2. We don't want to attach this because Daredevil can push him by himself. Could actually bounce the billy club back twice to push him without having to exhaust Daredevil. Is there a reason to do that? Like, are we going to be sitting here with 2 cards in our hands? Like, maybe. These are bad cards. Every time I play a card, though, this thwarts. We don't have to worry about, So maybe we play this. That'll thwart that down. This is useless. This is useless. This is useless. Yeah, I think we just bounce Billy Club. We attach... This is... Yeah, so I think what we're going to do... Play this. We're going to play this just to trigger this. So this comes in with 4. So this is... When it's... Only Daredevil Matt can thwart this, which is just me anyway. And when it's fully thwarted, I can play out all my senses. It's pretty good, I guess. It is also a side scheme, so I can't play this now. When it's defeated, I can search for an ally in deck or discard. So we attach this, I guess. We'll go ahead and do that because we can't really do much. Since we played a card that will move another threat, actually, So actually, yeah, so we'll trigger this. I'll move this to 3. Then we'll activate Living Lie Detector, discarding this. So we'll move 2 threat plus 1 for each attached to it, which will finish this. So now we can attach, if I read this right, choose any number of upgrades from the Sense deck and put them into play. Seems really good, actually. So we're going to resolve this first. And so we're about to attach a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to put Bullseye stuff on this side and the main scheme on this side. So attaching this to Bullseye, whenever I attack him, we can do another 3 damage to him. I'm going to attach this one to Bullseye. Whenever he attacks me as a defense interrupt, we can discard this card to give that attack -3 attack. I assume that accounts the overall attack. It's not 1 -3, which this game doesn't let you go below 0, so it goes to 0, then the boost. I assume it's 1, his boost, then -3. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. A superior taste. After you thwart attached scheme, discard this card removed. Attach that to the main scheme. When you defeat attached enemy. Ooh, we're about to defeat... We can defeat Bullseye this turn, so we can ready our hero this... Right? So we can do that, I think. When you defeat attached enemy next... Is there a 2-cost ally in this deck? I don't think so. Because if we do this... Also, does this count as playing? Did we just get like 50 thwart from this? Choose any number of upgrades from the deck and put them into play. So, after you play, putting into play and playing, I don't think are actually the same thing. So I don't think that triggered that, 5 times. This feels so strong. Am I actually playing this correctly? You may move any number of sense upgrades in play to other cards they can attach to. Choose any number of upgrades from the sense deck and put them into play. I mean, yeah, it seems like what it's doing. Defeat. I think it's probably safer to put it on this because I don't know the deck that well. I don't want to float the 2 free 2 cost stuff, so I think we're just going to attach it to the scheme here. And then that triggers this. We can look our discard pile and deck for an ally. Ghost Rider's okay. Let's see what else we got, though. Stick. That's a funny card. Cloak. Cloak is spend 2 energy, find dagger. Blind Spot. After Blind Spot thwarts, confuse an enemy with an upgrade. I feel like Cloak with a dagger is really good. He does not take consequential damage. I'm gonna add him. And he can grab her from the discard. Alright, so now then. We are going to activate the Man Without Fear. Paying 1 life to ready Daredevil. Daredevil will swing at Bullseye for 3. This brings him down to 0. It's a good thing we haven't done more than 3 to him. This brings us to stage 2. His scheme goes up to 1 from 0. His attack goes up to 2 from 1. He has the same thing, play adamantium lace spine, but we already have that. We haven't actually triggered it. Yeah, and then when he activates, each of his boost cards gain a boost icon. And if it's another thing is that hasn't come up though is if he attacks, it's considered a ranged attack, so he gets around retaliate with his basic attacks. His health is 16. Alright, so what are we triggering from this? Timing. I don't think... Can we do this after you... Everything stays attached to him, right? Actually, that's a pretty big ruling thing. I need to look this up. Okay, so... Only if the title changes, so he keeps all of his attachments, so that's good. I don't know how the timing works for the deal damage one. Can we deal 3 damage to him? I'm gonna assume not. I'm gonna take the whatever the rule is, make it harder for myself that we can't deal 3 damage to him. I think it's only to the original card, but I could completely be wrong about that. And then we can trigger acute tactility. So we're going to trigger that. And this, because we defeated that card, we can ready Daredevil. So what can we do now? We could steal his shield. Is there a reason to? It'd give us a tough card, actually. We don't want to... Let's see, we can only exhaust ourselves and we get it, right? Spend a strength resource or exhaust your hero. No, we could thwart, and if we thwart... I actually think I'm just going to exhaust to take the replica shield back, which will give us tough. This is our sense deck over here. This is attached to the main. I have 1 card in hand, that's Cloak. I think we're ready, right? Did I play any more cards for this? I don't think so. That doesn't count as playing, right? Yeah. I think we're done. Drawing up to 5. We got de-escalation. When defeated, remove an acceleration token from play. Well, that's interesting. I assume that doesn't count that. 3, 4, 5. 2 know your enemy's deposition. Deposition is really good, but you have to be an alter ego, which is interesting. You can play a sense while an alter ego, ignoring its cost, and remove 2 threat from its scheme. Alright. So, going over to Bullseye's turn 3. He doesn't have his art piece anymore, so this only goes up to 3 out of 9. He is going to try to attack me. I have tough. He would need to get piercing. I don't think he does. So he's attacking for 2, 5. That's our obligation. And that just pings off our tough. And then we get our counter card. Incessant pursuit. Attached to an ally without incessant pursuit attached. Otherwise gains surge. An ally. We don't have an ally, so it gains surge. Mastermind. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there are no side schemes, discard until there is one and play it. Or reveal it, you know what I mean. Yes, one. Police Cordon. Hinder 1 times a player. Each police minion gains guard and patrol. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a police minion and reveal it. So that comes in with 4. I don't think there's any police in here. Yeah, that's a crooked cop. You reveal it, it has quick strike, so that would play it. The defeated player deals himself 1 face down encounter card. That's kind of rough. What are the other cop cards? Oh my god. Let's see, cop. Quick strike vulnerable. Actually, this is a lot easier than that guy. This has he has quick strike, so he's going to attack us. He has vulnerable, and when he would scheme, he attacks the villain instead, which is interesting. When defeated, place 2 threat on the main scheme. I like that a lot better than the crooked cop. So we can probably deal with this fine here. He's going to attack me for 2 here. I want to defend against this. Can we defeat Bullseye this turn? We have 16. So he has 16 health. If we don't defend and we just take it, we'll be at 5. We gotta remember, we can only really do chunks of 3 on Bullseye, which is good because I think we're pretty much only doing 3. So we do 3 to him, which will trigger this to do another 3, which brings it to 6. We can then use the Man Without Fear to ready him, which brings it to 9. So the first attack could trigger this. So that's 6. This goes back to the sense deck. We use the Man Without Fear to ready Daredevil. We use Deposition's Alter Ego. Can't do that. Cloak. We don't have enough energy to get out Dagger. So there's no way to defeat Bullseye this turn. I think I'm going to actually defend against this to save a little health. So he's quick striking me for 2. And then that's the end of that. They do also have Patrol and Guard. I completely forgot about that, so we have to deal with him. Okay, so let's see. My turn. So first off, I'm going to use this to attach this to the main. We're going to attack with the Daredevil, and that is which we can't thwart the main though, right? This does count as a thwart. We can thwart that though. So we'll do that. This is at 3. Because I played that for that. Okay, so now then we're going to activate Man Without Fear to ready Daredevil. I'm going to take out the cop with Daredevil, right? Alright, so Patrol and Guard is gone, so we can now play Know Your Enemy. So we can remove 1 threat from the scheme, then 1 threat from the scheme, and we're going to use both of that for this, bring it down to 1. This will trigger Move in the Shadows. which lets us do another, which removes all the threat from that scheme. So this triggers, let's see. We need to do that. So we're going to use this to make our next card cost 1, or 2 less. And then we're going to use this one because we removed all the threat to ready Daredevil. Are we going to worry about this? I don't think so. Maybe if we like just get some extras from that, but we don't really need to. I guess Know Your Enemy is actually free right now. Actually, we can just completely get rid of it with Know Your Enemy. Do I want to use it? Deposition's really good. We could flip over and cast another sense. Right now, I think I'm going to actually play Cloak using Know Your Enemy. So if I had 2 energy, I could go find Dagger. But I can't. He gives us an acceleration token. He takes no inconsequential damage, which is pretty neat. Alright, so let's do some swinging here. Daredevil swings for 3 at Bullseye. Brings him down to 13. Cloak will swing for just 1. Brings him down to 12. With 6. We're in a pretty good spot because, let's see, also this will trigger. Actually, did I put these back in order? These should go like this, I believe. Yeah. That does another 3. He's now at 9. I think we might have him next turn. I think we're in a good position because this is going to reduce the next attack by 3, so I think we're okay there. And we have Deposition in hand. I'm going to keep it. We could bounce the Billy Club. We could bounce Billy Club twice to do another 2 damage. Doesn't matter. Could play this, which reduces cost next card by 2. Doesn't matter. I think that's it. I think we're done here. So we'll draw back up to 5. Sister Maggie, Move in Shadow, Legal Trouble, Chance Encounter. Sister Maggie's a really good card, right? Yeah, Matt Murdock gets +3 recovery. Response after you recover, discard a status card from your identity. Yeah. Alright, so moving on to the villain's turn. We add 2 to the main because Cloak. Then we move on to Bullseye. He's going to attack us for 2. I'm just going to take it. He's going to get -3 from this. When attached enemy attacks. So he's attacking, so we're going to do that. So he's attacking with 2. 7 -3, so this is still 4 damage. Wow. We're down to 2. Alright, so everything's on this encounter card. If this isn't bad, I think we win. Surge. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Alright. Surge changed, but I think it doesn't change much. I think the way it works is like this. We deal this one out as Surge, and then this one gets revealed. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a police minion is discarded and put it into play engaged with you. Wait. Oh, so this stays with me, and it's an acceleration token. It's an obligation, see. And so now we have another acceleration, but I can discard until there's a police card. I don't think we need to worry about this. One more card. Tug of War. When revealed, you may spend 3 physical resources to move an art attachment from the villain to your identity. Otherwise, move an art attachment from an identity to the villain, and this card gains Surge. He doesn't have a piece of art. So is it saying like I can spend 3 and just nothing happens, everything stays the same if I don't? I'm going to assume that's what it is, because I think that's kind of the worst scenario. Actually, I think the worst scenario is I just have to give it to him because I can't take one from him. I feel like I'm able to spend 3, and I really need to. No, I can't. I have absolutely none. So he gets this replica shield back, and this gains Surge. So he gets this. He gets a tough status card because of that. And then we get another encounter card. The villain schemes. It's not going to be that bad, I don't think. So he's scheming for 1. 2 because of his ability. So it goes up to 4. And we're finally done. Can we do this? We can probably knock that off with Billy Club. So let's look. Let's look. None of the cards in our hand do damage. So let's see, what can we do here? We can get Dagger. I don't think Dagger's still in the discard, so let's look at her again. Dagger is still in the discard, right? There she is. She has more attack than him. If Cloak is in play, Dagger takes -1 consequential damage. So we could get Dagger for 1 more damage. Okay. So we can bounce Billy Club to knock off Tough. Put Billy Club back into play. Attack with Daredevil for 3. Attack with Daredevil 3 brings him down to 6. Use the Man Without Fear, brings us to 1. He attacks again, brings him down to 3. Am I 1 damage short? No. Then we attack with Dagger for 2. And then we bounce the Billy Club again, because this is not once per turn or anything. This is as long as we can keep affording to play it. Yeah, and that should kill him, I believe. Okay, so let's do this. So we're gonna bounce our Billy Club. And nothing is more than 3 damage either to trigger his adamantium lace spine. So yeah, we'll do that and get rid of Tough. Then we will play the Billy Club again. Where's my Billy Club? Oh, here it is. Play the Billy Club again. We're then going to attack with Daredevil, who's at 3. This brings him down to 6. He's exhausted. We are then going to activate Cloak's ability, spending 2. Oh, hold on. I'm taking something back, so I need to do a different one for that. We'll do Deposition. Alright, and so then we're going to use these 2 because we have to use 2 energy for Cloak. So let's just find Dagger to put into play. That's Dagger. It does gets rid of the boost icon. She also now takes only 1 consequent damage whenever she attacks. She's going to attack for 2. Brings him down to 4. We're then going to activate the Man Without Fear. We exhaust this, deal 1 damage to ourselves, bringing us to 1, to then ready Daredevil. Daredevil will then attack for 3, brings him down to 1. We'll then use the hero action on the Billy Clubs to return this card to hand from play. And we're going to deal 1 damage. So we end the entire thing by throwing the Billy Club at Bullseye for 1 damage. Alright. It's not bad. It's pretty fun. That's some neat little combos there. I feel like Cloak and Dagger are actually pretty good. The issue was I just didn't have energy resources to the beginning to get Dagger out. But yeah, that's let me know if I made the mistakes. I'm sure I made a ton. I probably played that completely wrong, but I'm still pretty new, but it was fun. Let me know.